It's the DayWalker.
That's him! That's him! Get him!
Found tears on your pillow, take my love away.
Dun, dun, dun. People of color in video games. Yeah, y'all, I had to show you a couple of clips from Blade 1. I love the bloodbath scene and how Blade came in, and then also that fist pump after in the middle of the fight. Well, not in the middle, towards the end of the fight. Classic. So, yo, it's your man Technish, CappsOffGaming. And this year's POC and gaming is going to be talking about Blade. I've been doing these POC and gaming videos for at least 5 years now. I think this is the 5th one. I've talked a range of topics, yo, talking about me as a kid, seeing myself represented in games. First game where I actually had a person of color, and this is my man Matt Adam. Yo, at least the stats are right, which I really like. You know, better jump better than Axel. That was in this game. Like, I'm actually playing somebody that represents me. Yeah, the flat top, stuff like that. Backwards with the shorts. He had like the little bling on his neck. It's probably a herringbone because this is definitely the 90s. But it was really important to see that. Side note, I think I like this character so much that eventually later on in life I learned how to rollerblade. But then also last year really kind of coming full folds. I'm talking about avatars, how you can create your character, and then how does the features really represent, you know, people of color when it comes to gaming. Let's look into this option. Wow. Is a stark difference than the first one. I do not care about these hairstyles. Look at this. There we go. There we go. You need the hair. Check. Locks are very important. Now, with that, I've been playing a lot of Midnight Suns. But despite all the hate, people talking about it being an overly complicated friend simulator with a little bit of battle sprinkled in, I'd like the battle has a lot of depth. The card system works great. I like it. I'm a man of strategy. I love games like that, RPGs and everything. But then also, just when you get back and talking with the characters, you get a really deep satisfaction just getting into the background information of most of the characters too. And with that, we're going to be focusing on Blade, one of the Midnight Suns, one of Marvel's first big hits when it comes to, you know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Alright, man, so before we get into talking about Blade and the MCU and then other media that Blade has featured himself in, we gotta get into the origin, as in AKA when did he first really show up in Marvel Comics. Blade was written by Marv Wolfman and was penciled by Gene Coleman. I'll say that right. My fault. Back in 1973. And he was featured in Marvel's 10 in an issue called Tomb of Dracula. There's a character in there named Quincy, which is kind of like the Whistler version, but in the comic books, that was working with Blade, probably trained him. And he was getting mad at Blade because Blade killed a bunch of vampires on a hunt, and he didn't leave one of them alive so that they could track that vampire to Dracula's tomb and kind of end it once and for all. But mind you, I haven't really read these comics. This is 1973. I was not born yet, all right? But in my research, I'm looking up this first issue with Blade. The writer, Marv Wolfman, says something really important. When he was conversing or collaborating with Gene, he asked him, pretty much I asked him, like, when you draw this character, be sure to make him really heroic, which is really important because there was a lot of black characters that were in Marvel and everything, and they could have been written off any type of way. You have Power Man, you have the original Captain Marvel or Marvel, and those are all heroic characters, and to kind of continue that was really great because during that time, blaxploitation was real, and you had a lot of those videos that were kind of portraying, or movies that were trying to portray black people maybe at a different light. But when in the comics, they didn't really go that route. Even though Power Man, aka Luke Cage, his image back in the day was very pimpalicious. So but at least he was a strong black character, okay?
Found tears on your pillow, take my lonely me.
Blade has been one of Marvel's biggest hits, all right, next to Infinity Wars and even Endgame, all right? One of Marvel's first biggest hits. It was released on August of 1998, and after it did its run through the box offices, nationally it made over $70 million, and internationally over $60 million, making that one of Marvel's biggest grossing movies to be out, and this is all before Wakanda and everything like that, especially being a black protagonist. Very big hit, and it was something that I was really excited about. I think it was like my junior year in college. I was going to my junior year in college when that movie came out, and it was amazing, yo. It also was like a good date night movie too, especially with my man Wesley Snipes, yo.
Found tears on your pillow, take my lonely me.
Alright, now mind you, back in the day and even now, still an avid comic book reader. There's several Marvel characters that I follow in the comic books even to this day. And I didn't see any instances of Blade comics back in the day. There probably is there, but due to my interest, I didn't follow until there was a Saturday morning cartoon called The Amazing Spider-Man, and it had a really kick-ass theme song. Yo, it was amazing. Okay, yo, and there was an episode, and they introduced Blade as like I don't know if it was like an ongoing series, but I do remember distinctly Blade was in that, and I was like, yo, there's a black vampire hunter? When did this happen? And then anything like, if I'm thinking like black people and vampires, I might be just thinking about like the blaxploitation movie Blackula back in the day. What other movies? Vampire in Brooklyn. I think Queen of the Damned with Aaliyah, R.I.P. Like, that's the only association that I have when it came to like black people and vampires. And then this was Eric, this half-breed DayWalker. It blew my mind. It blew my mind, and I wanted to know more, but due to interest, didn't really do it. But fortunately, in the late '90s and early 2000s, we get blessed with the trilogy of Blade.
Found tears on your pillow, take my lonely me.
Also, one of the most influential actors when it came to action was actually playing the role, Mr. Nino Brown himself in New Jack City. That's why I remember him the best, Wesley Snipes. Now, along with his acting chops, Wesley Snipes is a martial artist. Like, he does all his own. Back then he did all his own stunts and everything. So once he was announced that he was going to be Blade, like, I was all in. I was ready and willing to go. So summer '98, the movie comes out, and it's just a big hit, yo. I brought a date to go along with me, and yeah, there were really tense moments of action, love, and it was something that was to behold during that time.
Found tears on your pillow, take my lonely
Alright, y'all, this is POC and Gaming, alright? This is a gaming channel, so we gotta get into the games. There have been several games Blade has been in. He's been a PS1 game for the first movie. He's also been in a PS2 game and also the original Xbox game, Blade 2, for the second movie as well. He's also appeared in other games that doesn't focus on him. I'm looking at the Marvel Alliance series. Here's a couple of clips just focusing on some of his dialogue, but then also some of his gameplay too. And again, I don't get paid for it or anything, but I just say that if you like a really good game with like a really good story, and then also you're into like tactics, and this is a game that I usually play when I get off of work teaching. It's a very chill game, and it's not something where like your trigger fingers itching or anything. You know, you're not, or how the kids say, sweaty or anything. I tell you, this is a pretty good pickup. But let's get into these characters, and I will be commenting over. So let's get into it.
A hole.
Yo, shout out to getting my hair right. Word up. Alright.
We think it's a shipping facility or smuggling. Faustus may have been a demented loon, but the man kept some pretty detailed records.
Possibly for stealing. From me.
Via the hole.
Let me guess. That's why I'm here.
And this is why I like Blade. No sugarcoating, straight to the point.
Well, given the nocturnal and clandestine nature of this operation, as well as your experience in dealing with subterranean affairs.
I'll bet. Ever wonder why you people only come to me for the dirty work?
Master of the mystic arts, that's why you're coming to me to handle the BI, aka the business.
Because you're a vampire? You sleep in the actual dirt? Or a coffin?
I mean, there's sort of a point buried in there. Sorry.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is a perfect example of why Blade is a master tactician. He's just looking over the spot, checking things out and everything like that. You know, and yeah, man. And towards the end of this, like, he runs a joke, which is hilarious, me.
Smuggle ourselves inside. Let me guess. Stealth, not your style?
I'm a vampire, remember? We invented stealth.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
And this is a perfect example of why Blade imbues leadership qualities. He jumps straight in. Like, he doesn't know what's going on down there. Alright? They asked him to do it, and he runs it. Alright? So, perfect example, yo. Word up.
Whatever the hell they're doing down here. It smells wicked.
And to round out his character, Big Daddy DayWalker is kicking it to Captain Marvel.
I have a good feeling about this.
I have a good feeling about you.
What was that?
Nothing. Ooh, hike.
Yo, Blade can talk the smack and he can deliver, alright? Being a quality leader, not only can deal out damage, but make sure that they feel it afterwards. check out the montage with some of Blade's abilities and amazing feats.
Come get it. They're mine. How am I supposed to get this stuff out of my hair? Reinforcements. Good.
Oh no, Mr. Symbiote, man. I guess you bleed like everybody else. Alright, time to wrap this up. In conclusion, Blade represents a really strong black male character in the role of a leader. Some of those clips that you've seen from Midnight Suns really shows that and really rounds out the character versus just him as just being this badass vampire hunter that can deal out massive damage when he needs to. It's really dope. We've had a lot of emerging, not even just black males, but black females too, when it comes to the Marvel Universe. And because of that, that translates into our media, which I'm really excited and happy to play. Again, still need more, alright? More is always good because, we had a lack of it back in the day, but, we are going, positively in the right track. This is this year's People of Color in Gaming, focusing on Blade, alright? Hopefully you enjoyed this up to the end. Besides that, please like, sub, comment, and share. And remember, throw that fist up. Alright? Peace out.